Beautiful. Once we're done setting up our user context, now let's take our party on the road. And first, let's take a look where we are using that info. And of course, remember the component by the name of cart buttons. In there, we had a login button, correct? Right next to the cart. So what I would want, of course, is once I click on the login button, I would want to try to log in like so. And then also once I have logged in, I would want to try to log out, correct? So eventually we will set up this ternary operator where if we have logged in, then of course we have logout button. And then if we haven't logged in, then we have a login one. But for now, I would just want to set up both of these buttons and then showcase the values we're getting back from Auth0. And once we're on the same page, once we understand what we're getting back, then of course we'll set up our condition. So I'm going to navigate right now to my cart buttons. So let's hop over there. So cart buttons component. Notice how I have use user context. Again, that is the hook. And what values I would want to get? Well, let's see. I'm going to go with const and we're looking for login with redirect and then redirect. Redirect, that is my function, of course. Then I would want to get my user, which of course is going to be null, and then log out as well. And all of that is coming from use user context. And then where I have the button for the login, of course, I'll add the functionality actually to log in the Auth0. And side by side, I'll set up a button as well for the logout. Again, eventually, there's going to be a ternary operator. For the time being, it's not going to be type submit. We're going to go here with a button, and the class name will be exactly the same, auth and then btn. So that's not going to change. However, we're going to go with a logout functionality over here. That's why I'll say logout, and we're going to go with fa user minus. Again, if you don't like my icons, feel free to change them around. So I'll save it, and remember that we won't be able to see them on a small screen. So if you want, you can navigate to the big screen, or you can simply open up the cart. Now, don't worry. Again, CSS is off. That's not what we care about right now. I have a login and I have a logout. So for the login button, I'm going to go here and we'll say on click. So once we click, then we would want to invoke login with a redirect, correct? Let's save this one. And then for the logout button, there's a bit more functionality because we need to invoke it and we need to pass in some data. So we'll say another on click and we'll set up, of course, right now our arrow function and let's invoke it. Let's say logout function, but then in the logout, we just need to pass in the redirect parameters. So we set up a object and the property we're looking for is a return to. And we go with window, location, and then origin. Again, this is exactly what they ask in the documentation. That's all. It's not like I'm making this up. So return to window, location, origin.